I'm Phil Reynolds. Joining me on the show tonight is Signum, made up of trance masters Ron and Pascal. With over 10 years of rocky dance floors all over the world, they've just released their debut album, For You. Ron, welcome along.
Hi there, good evening.
How are you?
I'm good, man, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well. You described the release of For You as the best day of your life. 12 cracking tunes on the album. Tell me a bit about it.
Well, yeah, definitely. It's a dream come true, you know. For as long as I could remember, I wanted to make an album, but it just never was the right time. And until 2 years ago, we finally felt up for the task, and in setting up an album. And we just started composing, locked ourselves up in the studio, and spent endless hours of tweaking, retweaking, and arranging, rearranging. Yeah, in the end, I think we have a very good album, and that was the main reason. You know, I only want to do an album if I can make it really, really good.
Stand out from the crowd rather than follow the rest of the producers.
Well, with Signum, we've always had our own little twist and on how we see things and how things should sound, you know. Usually when there's a big trend, we tend to go as far away from it as possible. But then later on, we get drawn into the new sound. So with this album, we try to combine a bit of the feeling of the old days, but also with the elements that are used now. And it was pretty hard to come up with a good recipe for that, but I think we succeeded.
I read on your Facebook there's been a record number of illegal download links for the album. After all the hard work that went into producing For You, this must be really frustrating.
Yeah, it is frustrating to see indeed, but you know, you don't have any control over it, and there are a lot of people who do buy the album, and there are a lot of people who just download it, you know, and I think it's a generation thing. I was brought up with buying music, you know, and the newer generation who has been brought up by the internet, they just assume that everything is up there for free, you know, and you don't have to pay for it.
Away from your production studio, you're also in the studio with your own radio show. Last night you presented the last exposed show of the year. The majority of artists are using this platform to expose their music. Do you think this has helped with the release of your debut album?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've been doing the show for the past 3 years now, and at first I wasn't too sure whether to start a show or not, because so many people are doing it, and it's like, you know, what can I contribute to it, and is it really necessary? But then I found it a really good platform, you know, to test out tracks that I want to use for my DJ sets, and it's a really good way to connect with the people and connect with your fans. You know, they really understand what you're trying to do, and as for the album, you can really promote it every month, you know, build up to a climax until the release is there. So it's absolutely a good thing to have.
On Saturday, Armada presents the For You album release party at the Crystal venue in Holland. Undoubtedly going to be the biggest gig of the year for you both.
I don't know, you know. It's absolutely one of the most special gigs this year. I had a few really big gigs. They did an Australia tour, and I played for a State of Trance 450 in Toronto, and that had over about 10 million listeners. And I don't think I'm going to reach that amount of people with that night, but it's definitely going to be one special night.
You can but try.
Yeah, of course. You know, you know, the whole event is going to be broadcasted by After Hours FM, which is also the station that broadcasts my radio show. And I've already got a lot of messages of people that are going to tune in. It's definitely going to be great.
When you mention messages, what has the feedback been like from your peers?
Amazing. The messages just keep on coming on Facebook and on Twitter, and I'm pretty much an internet nerd myself, so I scout all the forums, you know, and I've been blown away, really. I'm in this euphoric state right now with all the good reactions. I didn't expect it, but I'm really happy with so far.
What's the best way to interact with Signum?
If you want to have a chat with me, you know, sometimes I have my chat window open on Facebook, and then as soon as you're on there, like 40, 50, 60 people will start talking to you, and I always take the time to answer their questions.
That's a pretty personal approach towards your fans when you say that you would talk to them on the instant chat on Facebook. The only sort of interaction I've heard from other artists and other DJs has been responding to emails, but that's pretty personal. Does that show how much of a love you have for what you do?
Yeah, definitely, you know, and it is Facebook, you got like all these young, inspired producers, and they ask you for advice, and I don't mind giving them tips and pointers on how to get to the next level, you know, and I didn't have that help when I was younger, so that's why I'm going to give that help to other people.
And what about New Year's Eve, unofficially the biggest night of the year? Where will Signum be bringing in 2011?
I will be spending New Year's Eve in Budapest in Hungary. I will play for an event that is called Cream. I'm playing there together with fellow Dutchman Estiva, and yeah, it's going to be a great night. First time I'm going to be there, so that's always special, and then you got the New Year's Eve thing going on. That's extra special. I think it's going to be a great night.
What would be the plan so far for 2011?
The plan for 2011 is focusing on remixes. I've got this project going on with my brother. Got like 7 or 8 tracks that are almost done, and we're going to work on that as well. I have some cool collaborations coming up. One of them is follow-up with Roger Shah. You know, we did a Hillsfield Sanctuary together and Ancient World, and we're going to do a third track together for his album that is going to be released later next year. A lot of DJing. I've got some really cool gigs lined up, and I'm thinking about lining up ideas for album number 2.
All in all, a very ambitious and very exciting new year. You must come and see us in Northern Ireland.
Oh man, I'd love to come back there. I haven't been there for ages.
Well, you can sort it out for next year. Ron, thanks for coming on the show tonight, and no doubt we'll speak again early next year.
Ah, cool man, we'd love to be on your show again.